which can then go back and be recycled again.
Also on the show, some tips to help you through the taxing times.
You've only got one chance, use them up to June 1996.
And a young business that's really going places.
Our philosophy for Go Mango is really along the lines of Star Trek, where no multimedia company has ever gone before.
Before March the 2nd, Senator Peter Cook held the key portfolio for big business as Industry Minister. Now in opposition, he's in charge of small business, a topic the new government has made a priority. Senator Cook joins me now from Canberra to talk about whether the government is living up to its small business promises. Senator Cook, the government does seem to be recognising the problems of small business. You can't really criticise them for that, can you?
Oh no, I don't criticise them for that. In fact, my approach is to get out of their way a little and let them do some of the things that they promised to do. They made quite strong and extravagant promises at the election, and I think the role of the opposition is to see that they deliver on them.
Do you think they're doing okay so far?
I think they're trying to fulfil their first 100 days action plan, but there's some odd gaps in it. For example, the summit that small business was promised is really a collection of bureaucrats and state ministers with a visiting panel of speakers given set pieces to deliver from small business. It's not the interactive thing I think small business thought it would be. And I just think that there's been a lot of rhetoric. Delivering on action is going to be a problem for them.
So do you expect much out of the summit given this lack of small business participation?
Well, I think small business itself would have liked to have had a more interactive summit. What comes out of it will depend on what the state and Commonwealth governments do and what advice they accept from their bureaucrats. I think there is a big area of change that could be made, and that would be in the area of red tape and regulation, of harmonising some of the red tape and regulation between the Commonwealth and the state, so that you're not dealing with two tiers of government. You can do all the regulatory things at one level of government.
Well, they've already set up the Small Business Deregulation Task Force. We spoke to the chief of that, Charlie Bell, last week. Do you hold out much hope that they can get through the problem? I
hope they do. I sincerely hope they do. But I must say that every government foray into this field has ended up with more red tape, not less. But I hope they can break the mould and come up with some reduction in red tape. But for example, in the 150% tax deduction on R&D, what is being reported around the ridges in Canberra is more regulation from the government for small companies trying to access that tax advantage rather than less.
Well, what complaints are you hearing from small business at the moment where they feel that the government isn't addressing their needs?
Basically, there is still a sense, I think, by small business organisations that they're not on the inside, that they're really being, like at the summit, invited in to say their piece and then leave, or like at the task force, a task force on deregulation, which is comprised of the chief of McDonald's, hardly a small business company, and a range of accountants with a sprinkling of small business people, but not the main small business organisations in there tackling the nitty-gritty. There's that sense. But obviously the government is being given, as it should, a chance to prove itself by small business, and small business does hope that it'll deliver on its promises.
Well, the summit is concentrating on red tape, but another area of controversy is the Trade Practices Act, those changes that were mooted by your government, the previous Labor government, which this government is not seeming to want to push. What do you hear about this whole debate about harsh and unconscionable conduct?
That it's the top of the small business agenda. It's an issue that won't go away. Small business want it dealt with by government. And the move by Mr Prossy in the House during question time to announce that he was referring this issue off to a parliamentary committee is, I think, seen as a way of shelving the issue, taking it out of circulation and providing an excuse for not acting by government. On the other hand, Kim Beazley has announced that he's going to introduce a bill on this and test the resolve of the government. I hope that the shelving exercise can be broken down, that the committee can report really quickly. The onus will then be back on the government to face the prospect of the Kim Beazley private members bill to enact the legislation that we promised in government we would do if we could get it through the Parliament in time.
And finally, the IR laws up for debate. The unfair dismissal laws, which were so unpopular, have been watered down. Less strikes, more part-time workers. Sounds like a godsend for small business out there.
I think the thing about the unfair dismissals law is that it ought to be separated out from the industrial relations legislation. There's no doubt the industrial legislation is going to be in for a long debate, because this is a piece of legislation that polarises the community, and it'll be thoroughly debated and investigated. Meanwhile, though, there's a consensus of view on the unfair dismissal law, and if that were presented on its own to Parliament, small business could have the advantage of the changes immediately without having to wait for the longer debate and be held up in anticipation of that debate finally resolving itself.
Well, Senator Cook, thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you.
After the break, how improving the quality of your business can make you money.
Raylene Boyle in the toughest race of her life.
Killing off all those horrible little goobies that are in there trying to kill me.
Her exclusive story. Also, music lessons from Mark Knopfler.
When you start picking, more like a piano.
60 Minutes, tonight.
Norman not only have the biggest range of best price computers, software and mobile phones, we also have the biggest showrooms. Our showrooms are so big we call them superstores. What's a superstore? 10,000 product lines on display and sale in huge showrooms just like this. Big names like Acer, Apple, Compaq, IBM, Toshiba and many more. Our superstore is jam-packed with PCs, notebooks, faxes, scanners, computer furniture, software, multimedia, mobile phones, in fact everything you need for your home or office. Now that's a superstore. Now that's a Harvey Norman computer superstore.
If you're a shoplifter, you'll need very good eyesight, because this is about the size of the new VidGuard hidden cameras now going into stores everywhere. Because you won't see the cameras, you'd better watch out for this sign. It means VidGuard hidden cameras are on duty, so it's just not worth the risk. If you're a shop owner, call VidGuard on 1-800-675-338 and get VidGuard protection for your store from as little as 75 cents a day.
Microsoft Office 95. Microsoft Plus, Publisher, Small Business Pack, Microsoft Mouse, free internet offer, Windows 95 training CD, 3 CD samplers and more. The Microsoft Office Value Pack. At only $599, it's our best software offer ever.
Here's a special invitation to small business operators. Harbourview Business Centre. Prestige location without the high cost. Phone this number during business hours to secure a prosperous environment for your business. Harbourview Business Centre. Hurry, don't miss out.
Just not the way I pictured it, just.
She was tempted to a moment of passion.
Where you been, Gwen?
Oh, I was at the library.
Now she's running for her life.
You were here that night. So were you.
A spellbinding premiere. Judicial consent tonight, 8:30 on 9.
You're simply the best.
With the pressure on to work harder and smarter, more and more small businesses are investing time and money into quality assurance schemes. And the payoff isn't just official recognition of the high standards their business has reached. The whole process of gaining a quality rating can streamline and forever improve the way they operate.
It's an essential function for any business. And there's many ways you can tackle quality assurance, and a very good model is the ISO system, but it's not the only way of doing it. The definition that we use is that all of the things that are necessary to make sure that you do the things that you set out to do and that you deliver the things that your customers expect you to deliver, whether they're products or services.
The Australian Quality Council is one of the driving forces behind better business practices. But quality assurance is only just a part of what they promote each year with their national showcase of outstanding business management, the Australian Quality Awards. They assess each business on its leadership skills, strategic planning, customer relations and market performance, as well as looking at the overall quality of the product or service on offer.
What those criteria do is provide a very detailed and holistic framework. In other words, it makes them think about the way they are planning the business, about the way they're using the information that they need to drive the business.
Sydney design company DC Hydraulics believes the quality assurance process has helped them lift their game. After one false start, they've refocused and are now pushing on to the final stage.
I've broken up the entire business into 4 main sections, which is administration, accounts, design and drafting. And every little bit of paper that we generate as a result of that will be accountable, and if it needs to be changed, it can be changed in a formal way rather than people going off and doing their own thing with it.
For Lewis Continental Kitchens, which provides kosher food for Qantas, the Quality Assurance Program significantly changed their cooking and packaging processes. They believe it's been a priceless exercise for their business.
Because you'll have control on your business, there'll be less room for marginal error. If someone comes and helps you, they can pick up the procedures and they're able to work with little help from you as long as they are in that field, and they'll be doing their job the way you want it to be done.
Entering the Australian Quality Awards is in itself the ultimate award. There are no cash prizes, but you'll win extensive recognition in the marketplace and vastly improved management practices. The entry process includes a detailed description of your business and, eventually, an on-site inspection and assessment.
I have to say, it is for organisations that really are serious about becoming excellent organisations. It's not for organisations that just want to continue doing the same sorts of things, maybe a little bit better. It's for organisations that really are serious about being first-class organisations.
And if you'd like to take part in the award process, the Australian Quality Council will be holding an information seminar in the next couple of weeks. Call them on 02 9901 9975 and they'll send you more information. Another deadline you can't ignore is June 30. With just a month until the tax collector comes calling, Ray Regan has some tips to help you prepare.
A lot of proprietary limited companies have accumulated tax losses going back to 1989 and 1990, which they haven't yet recouped. You've only got 7 years, that's up to 30th of June 1996, to use them all up. If you don't, they're gone forever, so make sure you do use them up. Now, all you need to do is bill out your clients earlier, bring income to account at an earlier point in time, crystallise capital gains, recover some insurance refunds, sell off some assets and make some capital gains. Make sure you work carefully with your accountants to use up the losses this year.
And Ray Regan will bring you tax tips every week until the end of the financial year. After the break, why it's lucrative being green.
I suppose in overall cost, it could be saving us about $100 a week.
Here's a special invitation to small business operators. Harbourview Business Centre. Prestige location without the high cost. Phone this number during business hours to secure a prosperous environment for your business. Harbourview Business Centre. Hurry, don't miss out.
No more balancing checkbooks. No more juggling of accounts. They said it couldn't be done. Well, State Bank have done it. It's called Viridian.
Sony Music Legends classic double albums, only $29.95 with Pink Floyd.
All in all, you're just another break in the wall.
Billy Joel.
Baby, right.
Bob Dylan.
Here comes the story of the
And War of the Worlds. Not $50, not $40. Double CDs, only $29.95. There's Neil Diamond, Bruce Springsteen, Forrest Gump and more. Classic doubles, $29.95. Legends only from Sony.
If I'm not in colour, I'm not in business.
Xerox Digital Colour makes every print an original.
In fact, it's so good, even I find it hard to tell the difference. If you're not in Xerox colour, you're just not in business.
Shoplifters beware. This is about the size of the new VidGuard hidden cameras in stores everywhere. You can't see the cameras, so watch out for this sign. Call 1-800-675-338 for VidGuard protection from as little as 75 cents a day.
Tuesday.
Ooh, look at this little beauty.
It's another day at the office.
Go, go, go!
In the toughest job in the world.
This is a very dangerous situation.
A fearless hunter undertaking a most unusual relocation program.
Hang on, Steve. I think he's come down. You reckon he's come over the top of that embankment?
Tracking down one of Australia's most feared predators.
Chances are the crocodile could still be up here.
The hunt is on.
There's his claw mark.
A premiere television special.
Go, everyone out!
The Crocodile Hunter Return to the Wild premieres 8:30 Tuesday on 9.
It may seem extraordinary, but Australians generate a staggering 4.5 billion tonnes of waste materials every year. Yet for many small businesses, the idea of introducing environmental management practices has been ignored or rejected because it seemed either too complex or, more likely, too expensive.
I think it's put in the too hard basket. I think that they just want to carry on what they've traditionally done, and they're frankly scared that it may cost them extra money by having to comply with all the legislation.
But not only is it not particularly complex, the introduction of better environmental management could both save and earn new money, often tens of thousands of dollars a year. The truth is that a lot of basic environmental management can be introduced at minimum cost that can immediately save money and in some cases start to earn your business a small revenue stream. As Lou DeLeo, Chief Executive of Adelaide's Eco-Business Consultant, says, one person's waste can be another's raw material.
The first thing they actually have to have a look at is what they throw away. I mean, that's something that everybody can see, but usually in a big bin out the front of their factory. And if they start looking through those and saying, well, this could be somebody else's materials, and that they start with those, they will often find that somebody else does want to buy them from them. This firm here, for example, was throwing away cardboard, and somebody else will take that cardboard off their hands, and they'll save money from the removal of the cardboard. And another firm was throwing away sterile and foam containers that they got their samples in, and they turned that around and actually cleaned up the sterile and foam containers and were selling for $5 or $6. Now this amounted to the firm another $700 or $800 a month worth of income.
A business can start its own environmental management literally in its own backyard.
I guess the best place to begin is to do some kind of an environmental audit on your own company, and that's looking at what energy you use and how you use that, what waste you produce, and I guess other aspects of how you impact on the environment.
L&M Smash Repairs recycles paint thinners using equipment rented for $25 a week. The thinners are taken each week by Environmental Recovery Services and processed at their Albury plant.
And then after it's been recycled, we get about 50% of the product back as a gun wash, which can then go back and be recycled again. I suppose in overall cost, it could be saving us about $100 a week.
Systems Pest Management not only provides an environmentally safe pest service, but runs its company on the same basis.
Every decision we make is based on environmental protocols. We look at the paper we use. We only use recycled paper. In our post office box, we don't accept junk mail. When we send people out into the field on a daily basis, they need to go to 3 or 4 jobs. We look at their route so that during the day they're going to travel the minimum distance possible, therefore using less petrol, less wear and tear on the vehicles.
They encourage their staff to contribute better management ideas.
One instance was batteries. We were using non-renewable batteries, and one of the new people said, I've seen a rechargeable, let's get it. Within a short period of time, we'd sort that out, and we were spending $30 or $40 a week on batteries. Now we spend $40 on a battery, another $40 on a recharger, and then we're set for at least a year. So it's been a very effective cost saving there.
With governments now able to impose fines ranging from $600 on the spot up to $1 million for serious offences, the pressure is mounting on business to make dramatic improvements in their environmental management. Steve Brain says there are 4 key actions every business should plan to implement.
I think a company should look at waste minimisation. They should look at reducing or eliminating any material that's not necessary in their operation. Secondly, they should look at using recycled materials. As much as possible, try to use materials that can be reused and reused over again rather than having to buy virgin material. Thirdly, they should segregate materials so that they're not contaminating one possibly good source of material with another one. Fourthly, then, if they're having to dispose of material, they should use a legal contractor to make sure that they're fully complying with the environmental obligations placed upon them.
And remember, polluting can cost you dearly in other ways. If you breach the Environmental Penalties Act now, you could be hit with a jail term, as a Perth company executive discovered last year when he was jailed for 12 weeks. And now, if you're having trouble getting your business affairs organised, Peter Blasina has discovered all you have to do is speak up.
Most small business operators would be familiar with the drawer full of business cards, volumes 1, 2 and 3 of the address book, the tattered appointment book, and the memos and reminders multiplying on your computer screen.
But here's a gadget which organises each of those things for you. And all you have to do
is speak to it. The voice organiser is a personal organiser with a difference. If you need a client's phone number, you just ask for it. George Lang. It'll alert you of upcoming appointments.
Video conferencing at 10 o'clock.
Or you can just listen to the appointments for the day. And you can enter them for up to a year in advance. June 15. It's also quite handy for making notes and storing any great thoughts or ideas you might have. Weighing just 100 grams, it's a very compact way to organise your business life.
After the break, a business that's not backwards in going forwards.
Look, if we're going to be famous, if we're going to be successful, we've got to tell somebody. Otherwise, nobody will know.
This week on A Current Affair, topping in the dole cheats who work but still claim welfare. And the phones are running hot.
What was the person's name?
Some say it's un-Australian.
We're penalising them so that we can get government savings. That's immoral.
But listen to the whistleblowers.
They're getting something for nothing.
And they're not hard to find.
Yeah, it's good to see a bloke working. You're still working, though.
Yeah. Plus a warning to all parents.
I don't see a future for my son.
How even the best of families can be torn apart when a teenager suddenly goes off the rails.
This is the last day they'll be hearing from me.
A Current Affair.
Here's a special invitation to small business operators. Harbourview Business Centre. Prestige location without the high cost. Phone this number during business hours to secure a prosperous environment for your business. Harbourview Business Centre. Hurry, don't miss out.
Microsoft Office 95. Microsoft Plus, Publisher, Small Business Pack, Microsoft Mouse, free internet offer, Windows 95 training CD, 3 CD samplers and more. The Microsoft Office Value Pack. At only $599, it's our best software offer ever.
To earn extra Ansett frequent flyer points, just use your Diners Club card. You can earn points towards free flights over lunch or dinner, or by taking a short taxi trip across town, or just by picking up something special for that special someone. It's all very simple. Join Diners Club now and start earning free flights faster.
Now you can go to the UK, Ireland, USA, Canada and Italy personally every day for just 99 cents a minute with Telstra 0011 international off-peak rates every day from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. Monday to Friday and all weekend. So tell the world, Telstra. Every day to the UK, Ireland, USA, Canada and Italy. At 99 cents a minute, it doesn't cost much to stay in touch.
Go Man Go is going places. A small multimedia outfit, their cutting-edge presentations are capturing the imagination and dollars of some of the world's largest corporations.
We've really been flying by the seat of our pants and things have expanded so quickly. It's really, our philosophy for Go Man Go is really along the lines of Star Trek, where no multimedia company has ever gone before. Let's go! That really starts with
In 1993, armed with nothing more than a desktop computer, a personal loan and a load of creative ideas, Marie Florian and Paul Antonovich decided to give self-employment a go. It was enough for them to get Go Man Go going, but looking back, they now realise that a few ideas about business would have come in handy as well.
We should have done an accounting course.
On the business side of things and the accounting side of things, absolutely, we were really green.
And also, you know, there's things like bank fees and bank charges and taxes and things like that.
We've learnt from experience now that, you know, everything is business. Everything does, unfortunately, revolve around the dollar.
It's exciting now because you can see the figures there and you can start to plan ahead a lot more, be a lot more smart with what you do.
In the 3 years they've been on the go, They've been so successful that they now own 9 computers, have won a swag of awards, and their annual turnover has increased by 650% to around $1 million. And the secret to this speedy rise?
I think it's because we've concentrated on one particular area, and that is we've concentrated on quality.
Sticking to our guns was a big one, and not selling out for the run-of-the-mill production, the run-of-the-mill look. That's not go man go.
Their product range covers everything from glossy brochures and interactive computer programs to huge multimedia extravaganzas involving live performers, video, special effects and computer wizardry. Paul also composes all the music used in their presentations, which has led to the formation of their own recording label. And although creativity is Go Man Go's biggest selling point, it alone doesn't drive their business.
Of course, that is the brunt of our business and the spearhead of new business. But the clients need to know that we can handle larger budgets, we can work with them over a long period of time and come to grips with their strategies, where they've come from, where they're going.
Their success is also largely due to a carefully crafted image and being able to tell the market just how good they are.
Look, if we're going to be famous, if we're going to be successful, we've got to tell somebody. Otherwise, nobody will know. And so every time something successful has happened to us, we've always been filled with a lot of pride and just told people, this is what we did last time, and wow, it was terrific, and just wait till you see what we're going to do this time, and you know, keep people getting really excited about Go Man Go.
So we've spared no expense. The brochures are all very high glossy. There's a lot of creative has gone into producing a really nice image, the Go Man Go image, and to the point now where we've actually won awards for our own in-house promotional material, which is great. And for us, that is really an example for our clients, so that we can say, hey, here we are, we're marketing ourselves, we can do it for you as well.
And for such a young business going ahead so quickly, the obvious question is,
where is Go Man Go going in the future?
Huge potential. It's just wide open for us.
We've got the opportunity to bring multimedia to huge audiences and to the general public. And although we'll be still working with corporate clients, we'd like to really explore the entertainment field and get out our services to a large group of people.
And if you want to grab your chance to really go places, you only have 2 more weeks to send us your entry for our $75,000 Yellow Pages business grants. To be in the running for one of the development grants, your 5-page submission must reach us at PO Box 559, Willoughby 2068 by 5 p.m. on the 14th of June. That's all we have time for today. Next week, in the run-up to the Government Small Business Summit, we'll give you your say on what you want out of it.
But what do I want from it? I would like to see some immediate change.
Lessons that give you real business skills for the real world.
Well, I think what the seminar will do will hopefully steer them in the right direction, maybe change their thinking a little bit and get them hungry for more information.
And a retail chain drinking from the fountain of success.
Unfortunately, there are still many retailers, not only liquor, but there are many retailers out there who still think that the world owes them a living, or the government owes them a living, and that is not the case.
That's next week at 7:30. Coming up now, Business Sunday.